Reports suggesting Mauricio Pochettino will be gone as coach of PSG this week. Jules, this has come out of nowhere.
Whoa, what a surprise. I'm pretty sure my phone has been ringing all day saying like, is this true? Is it? We told you a long time ago. I think he even knew that his days were counted anyway. It's been taking so long because they wanted to announce the replacement almost at the same time as the sacking, which seemed that actually now it's not so much the plan. They would announce that he's been sacked before announcing who's coming in to replace him because that's not completely sorted yet. But yeah, unfortunately for him, the 18 months have come to an end.
What's interesting, Jules, is if you take a look what's happened to those coaches that preceded him. Okay, well, normally when you see a manager come in, take over a big club, it goes wrong, they then struggle to kind of reconnect as another big side. Yet you look at what the likes of Thomas Tuchel, Unai Emery and Carlo Ancelotti have achieved since they left PSG. Their time at PSG seems to almost be an anomaly on their resume.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Carlo is different because he left. He was not sacked. He went to Real Madrid, decided to go. The others two, you're right. I mean, we can discuss how much Thomas Tuchel, for example, was failing, really. I think he got sacked because him and Leonardo just could not work together anymore and Leonardo had enough. But 4 months before, he took them to a Champions League final. So Emery was a little bit different. There was a feeling that the club was too big and too difficult to manage for him. Tuchel was much more of a difficult relationship with the sporting director that I think cost him his place eventually. And for Poch, the future will tell, time will tell if he can bounce back and get another big club and do better than what he did in the last 18 months. Because, I mean, of course, you could have said, let's give him another year and see what happens, and that would have been fair. And I think he could have maybe done a better job. But you could also look at the last 18 months and say, this was just not good enough. Full stop. And for many reasons. The football was not good. He had problems with the dressing room and with the discipline of that dressing room. He's not the first one and not the last for sure, but he struggled. I mean, last season in the league, how can you not win away from home against any of the top 9 teams with the squad that you have? Is beyond me. Okay, maybe not Lyon and Marseille or Monaco, but Rennes and Nice and Nantes and Strasbourg, not a single win against all those teams away from home. Again, not good enough. So you can make a case for them making the right decision right now to sack him. It was just not good enough. But I guess we will never know what would have happened if he had stayed and finished that remaining year on his contract.
Christophe Gaultier will be the new man, Jules?
Yeah, it looks less and less likely now that Zinedine Zidane will accept the offer. They've tried really, again, a bit like with Mbappe, tried pretty much everything to try to convince him to come over. When you have to do so much convincing, I don't think it's ever a good idea anyway, because clearly he didn't want to come for different reasons. Galtier would be the second choice. It's maybe not as glamorous, certainly not as glamorous. He's a really good French coach. He won the league with Lille, of course. He knows Campos really well. His 4-4-2 is a bit too basic for me right now, but nothing says that he's not going to evolve and improve himself with a better squad, better team, better dressing room. But there will be a lot of obstacles for him as well, so it'll be quite interesting to see how he does with it.
Why did Zidane say no, Jules?
I think the Marseille against Paris thing was bothering him. I can understand that. I think he's still waiting for the France job. And as we've been saying with the boys, when you see what Deschamps is doing right now, there's a big case that he's not going to get the extension after the World Cup unless he wins it, which means that the job will be available in December, which is perfect for Zidane because we all know that he's the next to come whenever the job becomes available. If Deschamps stays until December 2024, that's a different ballgame because Zidane will have to wait a long time again to take over the job. So I think that's the big thing for him. In his head, he says, I want the national team. I need to be available and ready for the national team. And if that's in December, it's even better for me and I will be ready for that after 18 months as a sabbatical, really.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.